if you are here for a refresh or if you're brand new. And if you've already been doing Shibboleth, let us know how much weight you've lost. And I always give it until 8:03 for everybody to get on before we get started, because I know sometimes people don't realize they need Zoom and the app until they try to get on here. Okay, so we got Bryce Pitts from Orlando, Florida here for a refresh with my best friend Amy, a new one, yay! I did a challenge this week with Jason and lost 5 pounds. Way to go. Those Jason challenges have been doing great. I know my friend Julie lost 8.4 pounds. I mean, that's crazy. So way to go. Jenny from Michigan, brand new, awesome. Marianne is from Canada, right? And she's here for a refresh. And hey, Pat Johnson, hey, Pat. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, the other day, Marianne, when I was telling you to order from the Shibby shop, I had no idea you lived in Canada. One of the things that I want you to do in the chat room is I would like for you to set your chat to all panelists and attendees. The reason you want to do that is because if I don't get to your question, somebody else that's experienced in the program that's on here might be able to answer the question. And if you just do it to all panelists, it would only be to me. And I kind of get in a groove and I keep going. If you have a question during tonight's webinar, please go ahead and ask it. I may not stop right then. I may go back and answer it a little bit later, but don't hesitate to ask it, because sometimes people forget it if they don't ask it right away. So go ahead and just stick it in there, okay? And let's see, on Facebook, we've got Judy and Teresa and Janice and Pam. Awesome! Teresa James on Facebook is from Ringgold, and she's lost 60 pounds already. Way to go. And Sherry and Bo are watching, so that is awesome. And we've got 8 people here in the Zoom room. Okay, we got Casey and Catherine. Hey, Catherine. And Walter. So hello to everybody in the Zoom room. If I didn't say hello to you, I'm sorry. I missed you somehow. Okay. Or I've already said hello. Pat, one thing you might want to do on Facebook, whenever I go to the silver level group, this is a tip. Whenever I go to a group and I don't feel like I'm seeing everything that I should be seeing in that group, I put my finger on the, well, this is on my phone. I pull down and it refreshes it, and you should be able to see it. If you're on your computer, go to the silver level group and hit the refresh button, and you should be able to see it. Okay, well, it's we got 1 more minute, so I'll go and give everybody 1 more minute just to get signed in here. And then we will go from there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a PowerPoint, and it's just going to go over the basics of the program, and then we're going to have another video, live video tomorrow night that's talking about food combining. Because what I like to do tonight is I like to build a framework of knowledge for you. And once you build that framework of knowledge, you know, you just put this new little piece of information in here. You put this new little piece of information in here and there and there. Because this is not a diet. This is a lifestyle, and this is a nutrition education. And me personally, I have a master's degree in education from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and I used to be a school teacher and a principal. And when I figured out that all this is really just a nutrition education, that we need to learn it, we need to teach other people, we need to share with our friends, then we can just apply it and start living it, and it works. It works. So I lost 50 pounds last year. This is my 1-year anniversary month. I started Shibboleth April of last year, and within 5 months I lost 50 pounds. I wasn't even trying to lose 50 pounds. I was trying to lose 35 pounds. The Lord gave me a 50-pound weight loss. So it really, and guess what? I thought it was going to be hard. It's not. It's not. If you apply these principles, it will not be hard. Then I want you to get your mindset that this is a lifestyle for the rest of your life. Okay, you gotta think of it as for the rest of your life. So okay, well, it's 8:04, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Let me see who else jumped on right here. Oh, Maria Douglas. Hey, Maria, glad you're in here. That's awesome. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get started. And thank y'all for watching on Facebook as well. I see Dee on there and everybody. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you. And first of all, welcome to the Shibboleth lifestyle. And a lot of people's first question is, what does Shibboleth mean? How do you pronounce that? Where did it come from? All these different questions. If you are in the new member fast track group on Facebook, Travis did a video recently that I have saved in that group. Also, if you just happen to be in the Second Chance group, the new member fast track group and the Second Chance group are the exact same group. You don't need to be in both on Facebook. But there is a video that explains the longer version of why Shibboleth, why this ministry got named Shibboleth. That's the longer version. So I need you to go watch that. But just to give you an idea, this word is actually pronounced Shibboleth. Shibboleth. It is a Hebrew word from the book of Judges. And in the book of Judges, it was a password. And basically, we have found the secret to weight loss and wellness. Travis has cracked the code on adult and childhood obesity with his whole program. And Shibboleth is a secret. It's a password because passwords are supposed to be secrets. So anyway, and he's got other reasons that he named it this. So you just have to go watch that video, okay? But that was one of my first questions, and I looked up what Shibboleth meant and that kind of thing. But the reason we pronounce it Shibboleth is because Travis says he's a good old boy from Harley, Georgia. He pronounces it Shibboleth. So that's what we say, Shibboleth. Now, you'll hear me say Shibboleth occasionally because there are certain times that Shibboleth rolls off my tongue easier than Shibboleth. Just depends on what I'm saying. You say it however you want to, but the founders call it Shibboleth. This is a program overview. I am your fast track instructor. My name is Kim Danke. So there are two modes in Shibboleth. Two modes. We are either in weight loss mode or we're in maintenance mode. What weight loss means is that you have some stored energy. Stored energy is just excess fat that we need to access and get rid of, okay? You have got some stored energy on your body that you want to get rid of, okay? And you are in weight loss mode because that is your goal. You are wanting to get rid of that. Okay, you're in weight loss mode until you reach your goal and get your victory badge. Once you've reached your goal and you've gotten your victory badge, then if you choose to, you can move into the maintenance mode. There are three differences between weight loss and maintenance, and we're going to go over some of them in just a second. But one of the differences is how many holidays you get in a month. The second difference is how you can eat fruit. And the third difference is your mindset, okay? So there are two types of days that you're going to hear Shibboleth members talk about. We either have a perfect day or we have a holiday, okay? And I also, if you'll see my little icon right here or my little picture, it says enjoy the holidays, okay? I don't ever want to hear anybody calling it a cheat day. It is not a cheat day. Okay, it is a holiday. And if we plan those holidays out right, we can use them properly and fully enjoy them for the celebrations that they are, or because we've earned them, because we've been perfect so often. So we've done the work and we can relax just a little bit. So you can use your holidays in just the right ways. But most of the time we're striving to have perfect days. And in weight loss, you're going to need a lot more perfect days than you are holidays, obviously, to access that stored fat. And we're going to go over how many days you can have in a month in just a second. So how many holidays are allowed? If you are in weight loss mode, you can have up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. 6 holidays in a calendar month. Once you get to maintenance, you can have up to 12 holidays in a calendar month you could have, okay? Think about that. That is an amazing amount of holidays that you can have. Now, the key to having 12 holidays in maintenance and being able to maintain is making sure that those other days that aren't holidays are truly perfect Shibboleth days, not slipping over into the okay day world, okay? But in weight loss, that's where we're going to be focused on tonight, but I do want you to know certain things about maintenance so you have them to look forward to. But we're talking about weight loss tonight, so you can use up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. Personally, I plan out my holidays. Now, if I don't end up taking all of them, that's fine. I don't have to, but I do plan them out. And here are the questions that I ask myself. So when it comes to May 1st, which is coming up, when it comes up to May 1st, I'm going to ask myself, am I going out of town? Do I have any vacation days in May where I'm going out of town? If so, I personally want to take those as holidays, okay? Because that's just me. It might be you too. So that's my first thing, because I don't want to miss out on having my holidays while I'm on a vacation or out of town. And then the next question I ask is there a special day in this month, like a birthday or an anniversary that I want to celebrate? Well, my son's birthday is May 2nd. I could schedule that as a holiday, and I would know that I have it coming. I would plan for it, and I would know that I have it there for a special day to celebrate, okay? But then the next thing I look at is work days. If there's any work days where I might be doing a special event or anything like that I might want to schedule a holiday for. So I plan out my holidays. And in weight loss, you really need to give yourself 24 to 25 perfect days in a month to make sure that you are accessing that stored fat and getting it right off, or stored energy, which is fat, and getting that right off, okay? So how do you have a perfect day? Because we are striving to have perfect days, but here's the thing, a holiday, whether it is planned or unplanned, is coming. And then what you do after a holiday is you just get right back on your perfect days. Easy peasy, get right back on your perfect days, okay? This is what I think is so awesome about Shibboleth. I don't have to be on and absolutely perfect every single day for the rest of my life. I have this ebb and flow, which creates a great balance. But I feel fully confident that if I go on vacation and I take 5 holidays in a row, that I can come right back and get on my perfect days. And any pounds I put on during those holidays, I can get those right back off. This is the beauty of living the Shibboleth lifestyle. So how do you have a perfect day? You follow the Shibboleth shield. Follow the Shibboleth shield. It is your bulletproof shield. If you follow this shield, you will not fail. If you don't follow this shield, it's going to be slow, okay? But you got to follow the shield. So after 2 perfect days, which you will journal those days in your journal on your account, okay? After 2 perfect days, you will get into what we call EFB. These are going to be your 3 favorite letters. EFB stands for efficient fat burning. I had no idea before Shibboleth that I could get my body into a state that I could efficiently burn fat. You can do it efficiently, okay? We're going to talk about all those things that make us be able to do that as we go through tonight's presentation. But after 2 perfect days on your journal, in your timing chart, which is predicated by what you put in your journal, you're going to see a green check for your first perfect day. You're going to see another green check for your second perfect day. On your 3rd perfect day, you are going to see a flame. It'll be your first day in EFB, okay? So, because it takes 2 perfect days to get into EFB. So, in order to have a perfect day, you need to drink your water, you need to journal, you need to eat food in the right combinations, which we're going to go over. You need to have portion control and do good timing on your eating. So these 5 things we're going to be expounding on in just a second. I lost my chat. I had to find it. Sorry about that. Okay. Hey, Katinka. Diane. Hey, Diane. I don't know what you're talking about, Diane, on Facebook, so you're going to have to just Facebook message me, okay? Awesome. I'm so glad you're here, Katinka. Hey, everybody. Okay, so water. You need to drink a half a gallon to a gallon of water every single day. Okay, we have full videos on why you need to get your water in, but what my job tonight to do is to just tell you how to do the program. You just dig in and you just start doing the program. This is all about how to do the program. Now, there are going to be things that you're going to want to do is figure out why you're doing the program, and you want to figure out your why that's going to keep you doing this program for the rest of your life. And Travis is so good at helping you figure out your why. So in his daily doses, after you do the fast track videos, the daily doses are going to help you dig deeper into that, okay? So you're going to drink a half a gallon of water. So a half a gallon is 4 of these. A gallon is 8, okay? Now, if you are drinking a full gallon, that's really your goal. If you're drinking a full gallon, you are not going to be hungry. You're going to be very satisfied, okay? So make sure that you're getting that water in. It is super, super important. And so a half a gallon is 64 ounces. A full gallon is 128 ounces. And I want to make a point as to this last point on this slide right here, because this is important. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. So we've got to hydrate our body so that we can give up. It can give up that fat we don't need, and we can get rid of the waste that we need to get rid of on a regular basis. Component number 2 of the Shibboleth Shield is journaling. Journaling is so, so important, okay? This is easily done in your website. What I've done on my computer is once I got logged in to the Shibboleth website, I saved it as a favorite on my favorites bar on my computer. I can pop in there so easily and just do my journaling. But you can also get the Shibboleth Journal app. It's 99 cents in the Shibboleth in the App Store, and you can journal from there. What I want you to know about the app is you are not learning the program through the app. The app is a convenience tool for you to access the journal quickly, and then the other things that are the most popularly visited spots on our website. But apps are really expensive to maintain, and we have everything else that's super cool housed on our website, but the app is there for a convenience tool, okay? But you've got to journal daily. There are no idle bites on Planet Shibboleth, okay? So if you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. If you hog it, you log it, okay? So that means that you write down everything that you put in your mouth. And this is going to help you look back and see where you were successful or where you weren't successful. Let's say that you're up a little bit on the scale one day and you don't know why. You could send that journal over to one of our mentors. They can look and see what you ate. They can review it, give you feedback. It is important to journal. Journaling is also very, very important for our behavior modification. That is one of the best things that you're going to experience in this lifestyle. Behavior modification. It's very, very important. And that journaling helps you get into that. So it's really important. And if you don't journal, it's not considered a perfect day. All right, component number 3 of the Shibboleth Shield is eating properly combined meals. Properly combined meals keep away the fat bus, okay? The fat bus is insulin, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute on a whole slide. We're also going to come back to component number 3, the combinations, because it's kind of big, okay? Component 4 of the Shibboleth Shield is portion control. We're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. You carry your measuring tools with you everywhere you go, okay? Everywhere you go. I love this program because I do not have to count calories unless I just want to. I don't have to count calories. I do not have to weigh food. I don't have to measure. I don't have to do any of that. I just use my 2-hand rules. Once I put a properly combined meal on my plate, I'm going to put my 2 hands together as close as possible. You put your 2 hands together, you put them down over your food, low down over your food, not like this, okay? Put them down over your food, and as long as you cannot see your food, you have a properly portioned meal. Okay, and so you also don't want it to be any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. So basically what that is saying is don't pile up your Thanksgiving plate, put your hands up here and say, I can't see my food. Okay, we just got to put our hands down low over our food, make sure that's no thicker than the thickest part of your hand, and then just properly portion it, okay? The reason that portion control is important is because 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories. 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. And so in order for us to get rid of 1 pound of fat, we have to be in a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories, okay? But some people think that calorie control is the #1 way to weight reduction. It's not. It's the #2 way to weight reduction. The #1 way to weight reduction is controlling your insulin. And we do that by combining foods in the right way, okay? But see, what this program has going for it is that we supercharge our weight loss by putting the two together, okay? All right, let's look at component #5 of the Shibboleth Shield. Component #5 of the Shibboleth Shield is the only component of the shield that does not have to be met in order for you to have a perfect day. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4 must be met in order for you to have a perfect day. You have to drink your water, you have to journal, you have to combine foods in the right way, and you have to portion control. Number 5 is ultra important, and you can see some great results on the way that you use number 5. And as you continue to learn and live this lifestyle, there's all kinds of different nuances that you can use and learn about timing, like intermittent fasting and that kind of stuff. But we're not going to go over that today. That is just going to be something that you can continue to work towards, okay? But the reason that we say that you don't have to meet number 5 to, quote, have a perfect day is because everybody lives a different lifestyle. We work different jobs. We have all kinds of things going on in our homes. And so we can't say, okay, everybody on Shibboleth needs to eat between this time and 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 this time. We just can't do that. So we give you the way to optimize it for you. And based on your waking hours, or based on your work schedule, or based on what you've got going on in your life, you have got to figure out what works best for you within these guidelines, okay? So you do not want to eat more than 3 meals a day. This is one of the things I needed somebody to tell me. Kim, you really don't need to eat more than 3 meals a day. That's it, 3 meals a day, okay? If you have heard in the past that we need to eat 4, 5, 6 meals a day, it is a myth. It is a myth. That is not true. We do not need to do that. Up to 3 meals a day is what you can do on Planet Shibboleth, and you can consider it this: breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. It is time for you to sit down with the Lord and commune with Him, thanking Him for the food that He has given you, thanking Him for the program that has come into your life, thanking Him for the deliverance that you're going to have from food addiction or overeating or binge eating or emotional eating or stress eating. You sit down and you thank Him for that 3 times a day, okay? But you also want to eat your meals 4 to 6 hours apart. 4 to 6 hours apart. So if you are a breakfast eater, you want to eat within an hour or 2 of waking. If you're not a breakfast eater, you don't have to eat breakfast. Totally fine. Just go to lunch, because you can do just 2 meals in a day. It's fine. You can do 2 meals and a snack. That's fine too. Or just 2 meals, whatever. But if you're a breakfast eater, eat within an hour or 2 of waking, and then you're going to have lunch 4 to 6 hours later. And then you're going to have dinner 4 to 6 hours later. So you want to give a break in between your meals to allow your body to digest the food, okay? It takes about 36 hours for us to fully digest some food that we've eaten. So if we're constantly just piling food in, our body never has a break from digesting. So we want to give ourselves a break from digesting. So what Travis likes to do is he will set his phone or the timer on the website for 6 hours. I think he pretty regularly likes to do that. Or if he's doing a fast, he'll do even further. And he says, I'm playing beat the clock. I am not going to eat before that time. So you could do that too. So in moments of what we call mental weakness, okay, we have things for you: freebies, an extra, or a snack, okay? Now, the reason that we say that in moments of mental weakness is this: you really could make it from lunch to dinner, and you really could make it from breakfast to lunch and lunch to dinner. You could make it. And you can make it from dinner to bed. You can make it, I promise. But Our mind tells us we just want a little something. We've gotten in the habit of grazing. So these are things that we need to work on because we don't want to be a community of grazers. We are not cows, okay? We do not need to graze. Cows graze. We do not graze. Cows have 4 stomachs. We have 1, okay? So we don't need to graze. But in moments of mental weakness, we have things called freebies, an extra, or a snack. Now, I want you to be careful with those, though, because those can add up in calories, and then we can end up not seeing the results that we want. So let's say that you eat so many freebies in a day, and freebies are those things that are not going to have an impact on your body blood sugar wise and really calorie wise. But let's say that you have just eaten so many freebies in a day that they eventually add up. And so let's say you get 30 calories worth of freebies that you weren't able to burn off, okay? And let's say you chose to have an extra. An extra is something that is, I use a cocoa ringa as an extra, or a bio coffee as an extra. That's about 70 calories. And any of these things I'm talking about, they would have to be approved, and they are all going to be found in the approved food library on the website. But let's say you have an extra for the day and you do a 70 calorie extra. And then let's say that you have a snack for a day. Our snacks are no more than 200 calories, but let's add all that together. 270 is 270 plus 30 more for, that was just my estimate of freebies. That's 300 calories, okay? That's 300 calories that we may not have been burning off by our exercise. We just don't need it. And remember, how many calories did I say? I'm gonna see if y'all are listening. How many calories did I say had a 1 pound of fat had in it? And some of y'all that already know, that are like SHIBBOLETH members that long time, don't answer. We're gonna see if those newbies heard me. How many calories are in a pound of fat? Awesome, awesome. I see y'all answering on Zoom. Zoom hears me faster than Facebook. I know the Facebook folks will answer in just a second. Awesome, 3,500. There are 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So if you're adding 300 random calories in a day that you do not need, you are slowing yourself down by 11.67 days. Okay, I don't want to slow myself down. I want to take the fast route. I want to go the interstate on my journey to my destination. Okay, so it can just slow you down. But if you have a moment of mental weakness, my very first freebie is this right here. Go to your water. If you feel like you just need something, go to your water, okay? But then after that, I would go to maybe some egg whites, or maybe some sugar-free Jell-O, or a lot of people use pickles, that kind of thing. So those would be your freebies. I would try not to go beyond freebies, all right? But if you needed it, you could also use an extra or a snack, okay? And you can use those in the way that you need to. And guess what? Your mindset is going to change so many times on what you start off doing to what you do this week or that week, but keep it all within the guidelines of the program and you'll be okay, okay? But your mindset's going to change 5,000 times. Mine has, and I love it because I just see that it's getting better and better. I'm getting more well and more well and more well. All right, so let's look at the next slide. Okay, the big question is talking about component number 3, combining foods in a way that control insulin. So how do you put together a properly combined meal? The very first thing you have to do to put together a properly combined meal is you have to know that there are 7 categories of food. 7. What Travis has done is he has separated all whole foods, and then you'll find out other foods too that are like bread. It's not quote a whole food, but you know, we found a place for it to fit into it. But and some other things, you know, like Carb Quick, we found a place for it to fit and that kind of stuff. But we've separated all foods into 7 categories. They are separated into these categories based on how these foods respond in your body. So that's how they made it into the category that they're in, all right? So what I did in the very beginning to learn this program, because it's important enough to memorize these categories, okay? So you're gonna go, category 1, so lean protein. Category 2, fibrous carb. Category 3, energy carb. Category 4, protein plus fat. Category 5, fruit. Category 6, superfood. Category 7, shellfish. you're going to memorize the categories. Then what I like for all members to do is write down, especially new members, because this helps you, write down all the foods that you're already eating. Because what we want to teach you how to do is take the foods you already like and put them together in a way that works for you, okay? Because this program is really just combining foods in the right way, and you might need to tweak some products that you're buying in the grocery store, okay? But we got that handled for you through the food library. You now do not have to go into the grocery store confused anymore. You buy what's in the food library, and that's it, because we've looked at it and it works, okay? So you're going to learn that you're going to write down all the foods that you personally like, look them up in the food library, and write what category it is right next to it, okay? Then you'll know the foods that you like and what category they're in, and then you combine them properly according to the combination chart, okay? So we're going to look a little bit closer here. So when you look at the combination chart in your website, category 1, anytime you see a 1, and it has an LP next to it, that means lean protein. But we don't have room to write out lean protein. So you just need to know that category 1 is shortened to LP, lean protein. Then category 2 is a fibrous carb. So it's shortened to FC. Category 3 is an energy carb. It's shortened to EC. Category 4 is a protein plus fat. It's shortened to PF. Category 5 is fruit. It is shortened to FR, okay? But every once in a while in the document, I will see AC, okay, which is an antioxidant carb, and that's fruit. Antioxidants are so good for you. They've got so many phytonutrients and these beautiful colors that are in fruit. But in weight loss, we do have to treat fruit a little bit differently. We're going to go over that in a second. We do have to treat fruit differently in weight loss, all right? But sometimes if you see AC, just know that's fruit. And then when you see a 6 and an SF, you're going to know that's superfood. And then when you see a 7 and then SHF, you're going to know that's shellfish, okay? Now, look at my comment in parentheses here. Shellfish, which is really just a lean protein, okay? So a category 7 and a category 1 can be used interchangeably. So anytime you see 1, just know that shellfish is in there, but it got pulled off of a category 1 due to medical reasons and biblical reasons. Medical reasons, some people are allergic. Biblical reasons, some people don't want to eat it for biblical reasons. So it just got pulled off on its own. All right, so let's continue our conversation about how these foods ended up in these separate categories. So your lean proteins, those are things like your chicken breast, your egg whites. So those are your lean proteins, okay? And protein is good for you. It is the building block of life, so we need that. Fibrous carbs, okay? I'm actually going to talk about these two together. Fibrous carb and energy carb. You know, there's going to be a lot of vegetables in these two categories, and even some in the superfood. There's going to be some vegetables in there in all three of those categories. But see, not all things that we consider vegetables respond the same way in our body, okay? So I used to go get a vegetable plate at the, I love a vegetable plate. So I used to go get a vegetable plate at Cracker Barrel or whatever hometown cooking place there was, and it would be mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and fried okra. Okay, well that's, you know, hey, I'm eating a vegetable plate. I slightly knew that I wasn't doing right, but I was still getting my vegetables in, right? Okay, but here's the thing. Not all vegetables respond the same way in our body. So they are in their separate categories based on how they respond in your body. So your fibrous carbs are things like broccoli and green beans and asparagus and your leafy green vegetables and that kind of thing. And then your energy carbs are all of your potatoes, your long grain brown rice, corn, that kind of stuff is in your energy carbs. All your peas are in your energy carbs, and most of your lighter colored beans are in your energy carbs, okay? But you just don't want to consider every vegetable to be a fibrous carb. You just got to know the difference. That's why I said to write down all the foods that you personally like, look them up in the food library, and then you'll see, oh, that's an energy carb. And guess what? We have to make sure that we combine energy carbs properly. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Protein plus fat, guess what it is? It's a great protein. It is good for you. And this fat is not a bad word, okay? This fat is a good fat. Our body needs fat for certain functions, okay? So there's nothing wrong with eating a protein plus fat. Now, we have to be careful with what we pair it with so that that fat doesn't get stored, and we're going to talk about that. And then fruit, obviously all fruit is in the fruit category, but fruit is does bring a little bit more of an insulin release, so we have to treat it differently in weight loss, and we're going to talk about what you want to combine that with. Look at this superfood. This is where you're going to find all of your nuts and your seeds, your nut butters, your avocados. This is also where you're going to find some light colored beans. Most of your light colored beans are energy carbs. And this is why you have to look up the foods. Let's say you like garbanzo beans. Well, they're a lighter colored bean, right? You just need to know they're considered a superfood rather than an energy carb. Now, most lighter colored beans are energy carb, but you just need to start to figure out which foods go in which categories. And you know what? We're creatures of habit. So once you figure out the foods that you like to eat on a regular basis, that's what you're going to do. But there is a little work up front on your part to get that figured out. And then all of your dark colored beans are here in the superfood category. How does something end up in the superfood category rather than one of those other categories? The reason it ends up in the superfood category is it has all 4 macronutrients in it. Not all of these have all 4, but a superfood does. It's got water in it, it's got protein in it, it's got carbs in it, and it has fat in it. So if something has all 4 macronutrients in it, then it ends up in the superfood category. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to look down through here, and I always talk about, I like to talk about the things that you must combine in a certain way, okay? I'm going to talk about this first. There are 5. 5 of these 7, you don't have to combine at all. You can eat them by themselves if you needed to, okay? You can eat lean protein by itself, fibrous carbs, protein plus fat, superfood, and shellfish. Those are the 5 that you can eat by themselves if you need to. You do not want to eat your energy carbs by themselves or your fruit. You don't want to eat them by themselves, okay? So now fruit, when you get to maintenance, can be eaten as by itself. Fruit in maintenance can be eaten as a serving by itself as a snack if you want to. But in weight loss, you must combine it properly, okay? So fruit needs to be treated differently in weight loss. Energy carbs need to be treated differently forever, okay? All right, so let's look at this energy carb. I like to do what Travis calls reverse engineer it, okay? Let's look at this energy carb. If I know I want some sweet potato, and I know that a sweet potato is an energy carb, then I must combine it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So what we would call that in journaling is we would say that is a 1 plus a 2 plus a 3. There's no math in SHIBBOLETH. Don't worry about seeing those plus signs, okay? This just means that we're putting it together on the plate as a meal. So if you want to have an energy carb, you must combine it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. The reason this is important, this is so important. I like to teach you the science behind why you do the things you do so that you'll know what's going on in your body at the time, because it'll help you. Okay, so what's going to happen is when you eat that sweet potato, it is going to bring a little bit of an insulin release, all right? When that insulin release comes, we have paired it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And so the protein in the lean protein and the fiber in the fibrous carb is neutralizing the insulin release from the potato. And that's exactly what you want to do, because you've got to control insulin to access stored energy, which is fat, and get rid of it, okay? So we want to make sure that we pair a category 3 with a 1 or a 2. Now remember, when I say 1, you could also use a 7, because 1 and 7 are both lean proteins. Okay, now let's look at fruit. If you want to eat some fruit, you must combine it with a 1 and a 2. So let's say you want to have some berries for breakfast, okay? You do your berries for breakfast. Maybe you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet. You've got your fruit. It's going to bring a little bit of an insulin release. Actually, the berries are one of the best fruits that you can eat for the least glycemic impact, okay? But if you eat it with your egg whites, which are your protein, and your spinach, which is your fibrous carb, then you are helping neutralize the insulin release that comes from the fruit, okay? So let's revisit that example with the sweet potato. You still have to fit all three of those things underneath your hands, okay? So your energy carb amount is going to be maybe like 1/4 of a cup. So you do 1/4 of a cup. I don't measure this stuff out. I just kind of put it on the plate. But I use my hand as measuring. That's going to be like right here, okay, right there. And then let's say I put some broccoli with it. I put my broccoli right here. And then I put some chicken breast with it. My chicken breast is going to go right there. And then I cover it up. Think about that. You ate a reasonable amount of sweet potato too. You didn't bring such huge doses of insulin release because you didn't overeat that sweet potato either. See, that's part of it. So you're combining properly, but you're portioning properly, and that helps that lean protein and that fibrous carb be able to neutralize the insulin release that came from that sweet potato. Think about a big, giant sweet potato that you've maybe eaten before at home or in a restaurant, and you eat the whole thing. I mean, that's going to bring such massive doses of insulin release. How can a piece of chicken and a fibrous carb even neutralize it, okay? So you have to, it'll have some impact on it, that's better, but it might not be able to get it all. That's why you have to portion control it too, all right? So you're helping yourself out with that. All right, so if you want to eat, we've talked about that. Let's look at number 4, protein plus fat. I want you to know what you don't eat with your protein plus fat, because this is important. You don't eat category 3s, 5s, or 6s with your protein plus fat. And the reason you don't do that is because when you eat that protein plus fat, there are some fat lipids that are going to be running around in your body, right? You ate protein plus fat. So those fat lipids are going around. Guess what? That would be no problem. Those fat lipids running around in there would be no problem at all, because they're just going to get used up as energy, all right? But most of the time, or oftentimes, we have paired a protein plus fat with an energy carb, a fruit, or a superfood, and guess what's happening? That fat is getting stored instead of being burned up. So let's talk about a classic plate. You know, have you ever heard anybody say, I'm a meat and potatoes kind of person? I mean, I like meat and potatoes, and I still will have a meat and potato type thing on a holiday. I can still do that. See, there's nothing you can't have on Planet Shibboleth. There's nothing you can't have. It just depends on what day that you eat it on, okay? So I can still have that. But on those perfect days when you're trying to control insulin, then if you put, let's say, a steak, protein plus fat, and a baked potato together, that's where the problem came in. It wasn't the steak. It was pairing it with the potato. So, and first of all, most of the time, people's potatoes are giant, okay? Especially if you get a Longhorn or something like that, get these giant potatoes, huge insulin release is coming out. Guess what we call insulin? The fat bus. The fat bus. So insulin's job, okay, insulin is a hormone, and it's a growth hormone. And the specific type of growth hormone that it is, fat storage hormone. Okay, so what's happening is we're eating the potato, doses of insulin coming out, because that's our body's job to respond to things that are going to turn into sugar quickly in our body to regulate that blood sugar. Okay, I've got it, that's its job. We ate the steak, fat lipids running around. Just imagine, I just want you to imagine right now, that little bus came out in your body, and it just is going to go around and pick up all those fat lipids, and it's going to take that bus back to the storage facility. All right, where's the storage facility? Y'all tell me where the storage facility is, and I'll answer this question from Jenny. Jenny, you do not want to eat 3s, 5s, or 6s with your category 4. You could eat a category 4 by itself. Casey says her rear end. You can eat a category 4 by itself. Optimally, you would eat your category 4 with a fibrous carb. That would be the best way, Jenny. But you could also eat a protein plus fat, category 4. You could eat that with a lean protein and shellfish. So let's say that you want surf and turf. You can have steak and shellfish together. That works fine. You just want to make sure you put it with a fibrous carb. You could even have some protein plus fat. You know, you could have some steak and some chicken together, chicken breast. You just want to make sure that you paired it with your fibrous carb. Okay, so just imagine that. And Jenny says her stomach. Oh goodness, yep. And Diane on Facebook says her stomach and her butt. Yep. So many people have termed that gut and butt. Okay, the storage facility. So we don't want the fat that's in that protein plus fat to be taken. It's like it's being taken hostage and put back there. We don't want that to happen, right? So now that you know this bit of information, when you eat a protein plus fat, you just now know that you need to really eat it with a fibrous carb. So cook the protein plus fat, have it with broccoli, or have it with green beans, have it with cauliflower, have it with a side salad, have it with a category 2 bread, which there are category 2 breads, which we're going to go over tomorrow night. All right, so y'all don't miss tomorrow night's webinar, because tomorrow night's webinar, we're going to go over things that might surprise you that are in category 2. We're also going to go over condiments, which are very important. I don't have time to do that tonight. And then, so the other reason that you don't want to eat a protein plus fat with fruit is, again, the fruit brings an insulin release, okay? And it's going to go pick up the fat that's in there. And the superfood, remember, superfood has all 4 macronutrients in there, one of those being carbs. And so you don't want that insulin release that's going to come from that, so you don't pair it with the protein plus fat, all right? I hope all that makes sense. And all we're doing tonight is we're building that framework, okay? You come back tomorrow night, we continue to add stuff. And then I'm going to explain how the fast track group works in the end, and everything that you do every day this week is just going to add to that framework of knowledge, okay? All right, so let's look at the next one. So we're going to recap here. I didn't even call it the fastest fat burning combination, but your fastest fat burning combination is the category 1, lean protein plus 2 fibrous carb cooked in MCT oil. We're going to go over that in a second. Or a 7, which is your shellfish plus fibrous carb cooked in MCT oil. That is the fastest fat burning combination. If you want to eat a category 3 energy carb or a category 5 fruit, you must eat it with a 1 and a 2. And then you don't eat your 4s with 3s, 5s, or 6s. And this is ultra important. All meat at a restaurant must be considered a category 4. Here's the thing. Let's say you order a piece of chicken breast at a restaurant thinking that you're going to be able to order a category 1, 2, and 3. You order that chicken breast in the restaurant, you don't know what oil they cooked it in, right? I'm sure they didn't cook it in one of our approved oils. I'm sure they cooked it in what they call and what we call a long chain triglyceride. That's not an approved oil. So by what they cooked it in, they turned that lean protein, they turned that piece of chicken that was a lean protein, they turned it into a protein plus fat, all right? So they turned that into a protein plus fat. In order to keep yourself safe, you would not want to order any energy carbs with that at the restaurant, right? Okay, so that's why you do that. So you consider all meat at a restaurant a category 4. And that determines what you're going to order with that. You could have fibrous carb with it. Okay, that's that. So all meat at a restaurant should be considered a 4. I'm very matter of fact, aren't I? That's it. That's what you do. Okay, let's talk about approved cooking oils. Approved cooking oils are MCT oil. MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride, okay? This is one of the SHIBBOLETH secrets, along with combining your foods in the way that control insulin. Medium chain triglyceride is the oil that you want to use. I highly recommend that you use the Zero Drag MCT oil from the SHIBBOLETH store, okay? You are never required to buy anything from the SHIBBOLETH store, but this is the one I want you to buy, okay? Because it has been optimized for cooking purposes, and we are only using the MCT oil for cooking purposes. We do not use MCT oil as a supplement. We do not put it in our coffee or our shakes. You're going to use MCT oil for cooking or as a replacement for an oil in a recipe if you need it. or to make a salad dressing with it, but you are not going to use it as a in your coffee, in your shakes, or as a supplement. So the reason that I highly suggest the zero drag one is because it has been optimized for cooking. Now, let's answer this question. Can you use an MCT oil that you find in the store? Yes, you can, but here's the thing. Some of those say 100% MCT, but really it's, what did I write down? I wrote down Travis was talking about, you want to make sure that it's not just repackaged coconut oil, okay? So for your best benefit, you want to get the true MCT oil, and make sure that on the bottle, if you don't buy ours, make sure on the bottle that it doesn't say that you can't cook with it. And you also want to make sure that it's liquid and it's not emulsified, all right? That would not be a good thing. So we want to be optimized for cooking. So this is why I suggest ours, because it is the best. And I have looked at the back of MCT oil bottles. Ours has 100 calories per tablespoon, where most of the other ones that I've looked at have 130 calories per tablespoon. So that's the one I suggest. If you are near Dalton or Kennesaw, you can just come into the store and pick it up. If you are somewhere else in the country, we have an online store. You just order it, we'll ship it to you, okay? You're not required to buy it, but I highly recommend it. And a medium chain triglyceride, okay, I'm gonna go through the other approved oils and I'm gonna come back to the MCT, okay? Coconut oil would be our second best choice. Ghee butter, not to be confused with the meal replacement or snack called ghee butter. This is ghee butter, G-H-E-E. It is a clarified butter. Once the butter has been clarified, there's more MCTs in it, so this is why it works. Oh, coconut oil, by the way, is 60% MCTs. A lot of times people will use ghee butter when they're cooking maybe a shrimp scampi or something else that needs that buttery flavor. You can also use hemp oil or zero-calorie cooking spray. I'm gonna stop right here and answer a question. Yep. Yes, and Pat is pointing out that if you are not using the zero drag brand of MCT oil, that Travis recommends the Now brand, Now, N-O-W, okay? And so one person asked me before, why is it better to use MCT than zero-calorie cooking spray when MCT does have some calories in it? Well, the reason is MCT is also thermogenic. So it helps burn a few extra calories, all right? So that is important. So I use MCT oils when I'm doing my 1s or my 7s, but I don't use MCT oil with my 4s, which already have fat in it, the protein plus fat. So I don't use it with that. So those are your approved oils. Where's my MCT thing? Okay, I guess I am going to talk about MCTs on there. Okay, so MCT oil, let's compare it to an LCT, long chain triglyceride. Long chain triglycerides are canola oil, vegetable oil, olive oil. So many people are surprised to hear us say not to use olive oil. I am not saying that olive oil does not have health properties. It does, but I'm just saying that it shouldn't be used on a perfect day because it's a long chain triglyceride. But long chain triglycerides, they take a long time to burn up on the body, okay? So you have your medium chain triglyceride. Think of it as like a wick, okay? It's a really short wick. So it burns up like that. In fact, I have to tell you, when you're cooking, make sure that you are cooking on low to medium heat. Because if you don't cook on low to medium heat, it will set off your smoke detector, okay? Because MCT oil has a very low smoke point because it burns up quickly. So it's thermogenic, okay? So we want to make sure that you're cooking on low to medium heat. But a long chain triglyceride, it has a very long wick. It takes a long time to burn up, and it has a great propensity to be stored on the body as fat because most of us aren't out there burning up all the long chain triglycerides that get in, okay? So this is why we're not going to use long chain triglycerides because it will affect your progress. Bryce, you don't want to do regular butter? No. Regular butter can be used on a holiday. And there is a Brummel and Brown yogurt butter that you could use. You could also use, I can't believe it's not butter spray, but regular butter, no, you wouldn't want to use that. Okay. And then medium chain triglyceride, let's also talk about it in the fact that it is burns up quickly. So some of that burns up in cooking. Okay, so let's say you're cooking one piece of chicken. You can use 1 tablespoon because 1 tablespoon is a serving. But if you're cooking 4 pieces of chicken, let's say for the family, you can use 4 tablespoons of that. Now, what I did one time when I was cooking myself a piece of chicken, I cooked myself a piece of chicken, but there was still some MCT left in the pan. I got a rubber spatula and I pushed that all off into a little ramekin. And as I was cutting my chicken, I would just dip that in the MCT oil because it was good. And I liked it. And I ate it. And I liked it. It's really good. So that's what you're going to use there. Y'all let me know if you have any questions about that. Okay, now EFB. You get into EFB after you've had 2 perfect days. You have 2 perfect days after you have followed the Shibboleth shield for 2 days. What's happening during that time is your body is getting rid of insulin that has been released or is running around in there. You're also getting rid of your glycogen stores. So those 2 things go away and your body is going to burn stored energy, which is fat, and get rid of it. This is why we need to be in EFB as often as possible. So what I tell everybody is you're going to have your 2 perfect days and you're going to see that flame on your timing chart. You want to see as many flames as possible. String as many flames together as you can. And so we're striving for those perfect days, but planned or unplanned, a holiday's coming. After a holiday, you just have to know it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB again. And that is your goal. Get back into EFB as quickly as possible after you have a holiday. Do you see how this is a life of balance? This is a life that is sustainable. You just get back into EFB. When we are in efficient fat burning, our body is going to access stored energy. Okay. Do you know that if you're putting long chain triglycerides in your body is always going to burn those up first? If you're putting lots and lots of energy carbs and fruit into your body, it's going to access and burn those up first. We don't need it to do that. So we have to do these little things in order to get to that stored fat and burn it, okay? Because, just like human beings, we're going to take the path of least resistance. So is your body when it needs energy. It's going to access that stored, it's going to access easy energy first. So if we're not giving it any easily accessible energy, then we're going to be able to access stored energy and burn it off. So what is the fat bus? You've heard me kind of mention it throughout, and I hope that it's starting to come together, but the fat bus is insulin. Did you know, y'all, I want y'all to answer me on this. Did y'all know before SHIBBOLETH that insulin was a hormone? I did not. That's right, Pat. That's right. Yay, Katinka. That's awesome. That is awesome. Diane, you could put some Brummel and brown butter on there as long as you're not using more than a condiment amount, okay? Also, you could spray, I can't believe it's not butter on there, and that stuff tastes just like butter. I can't believe it's not. Okay, so yeah, so Pat's saying she didn't know either. So I did not know that insulin was a hormone before SHIBBOLETH. And so it's specifically a growth hormone focused on fat storage. Just to recap, after an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours. That's why it takes the 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. Because once you've had an insulin release, you come out of efficient fat burning. You come out of efficient fat burning because your body is no longer accessing the stored energy. It's accessing easily accessible energy. I hope that makes sense. Insulin also increases appetite. So those of you that are on here that are seasoned members, remember have you ever had this happen? You've had a holiday and you know you need to get back to your perfect days. On that perfect day, you're kind of hungrier than you were when you were having all of your string of perfect days. You're kind of hungry. And so what you have to tell yourself is this: oh no, I'm not really hungry. That's that insulin. Kim said it increased appetite. I need to just not eat right now. I'm really going to make it to the next meal, and I'm not going to let that insulin trick me into eating. All right. It does. It makes you hungry. So you don't want to lean into that and just eat because you think you're hungry. That insulin needs to get its rear end out of there, and you need to get back into EFB, okay? And then just after the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. All right. Question. What am I going to eat this week? Okay. I have given you a lot of resources in the new member fast track group. In the new member fast track group, I have put in there what I ate for the first 20 days of my living shibboleth. You're going to see that I ate about 30 Mighty Muffins. Okay. A Mighty Muffin is a meal replacement, and I knew it tasted good. I knew it was going to help me remain in EFB, and it kept me full, and it worked. So I did what I had to do. See, I did what I had to do to keep myself in EFB while I was learning all the nuances of the program. I don't eat nearly as many Mighty Muffins now, but I do still love them. Let's see, Bryce. Oh yeah, Bryce, yes, no problem. Just look for Shibboleth new member fast track. Yep, I would love for you to do that group. You actually get a badge at the end when you do that. So what you're going to eat this week, well, besides what I have listed in there that I ate for the first 20 days, I've also got some meal generated, I used the meal plan generator on the website, and I posted those in there. They're from December, but it doesn't make a difference when they're from. They're still just generated meal plans. So you can use those to get an idea of what you could eat this week. But what I like for everybody to do is make their own personal list. See, this is called My Shibboleth. It's called My Shibboleth because you don't have to eat anything on this program you don't like. I love that. So you need to make a list of your favorite 10 to 15 lean proteins, and that could be category 1 or 7, okay? 10 to 15 lean proteins, that is if you eat 7s. And then 10 to 15 favorite fibers, carbs. And then literally, you are just going to put something from that list and something from that list together and eat it. And that's going to be your fastest fat burning combination, especially if you end up cooking that in MCT oil, okay? So mix and match those to just create variety. Throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. Before Shibboleth, I did not even know what a meal replacement was. I had no idea. I have completely embraced a meal replacement. And do you know what meal replacements have done? They've brought chocolate flavor back into my life. They've brought the sweets back into my life. Those are the things that I was cutting out thinking I shouldn't be having them, still gaining weight, obviously making other bad choices. But I can use an approved meal replacement and feel like I ate a dessert, okay? So I love meal replacements for that. So find some meal replacements that you like, because it also is that thing that if you don't have time in the morning that you can do, or if you're going out for the day and you need to throw that in your purse or in your bag, then you can take that with you and eat it. It always keeps you safe at a restaurant because you don't know where you're going to end up. And if you're not willing to give up your perfect day, which y'all don't worry about what other people are doing at restaurants. You do what you know you need to do for you, okay? So I put those in my purse. So just keep it simple in the beginning, and then you'll just branch out as you continue to live this lifestyle, all right? You're right. It made your life easy. I understand that. Yes. Good, Diane. Good. Awesome, Katinka. Man, Katinka and I have been talking today on the Tiger's Eye Challenge Facebook group, and now I'm on here with her too. So that's awesome. I'm glad. That's great. Okay, so let's look. We got one more slide, and we're going to wrap it up. So, you know, Shibboleth. I mean, I just can't say enough about Shibboleth. Shibboleth is a ministry. Okay, they're not after your money. They're after your heart. They're after your health. They want to help you. Okay, we do not charge the large company prices. Okay, we charge small little prices, but the value that you are going to get out of this program is going to be way more than you paid to get in. I promise you that. If you're on Facebook, y'all give me some hearts. Okay, give me some hearts about that, because it's amazing, and I can't believe that we get what we get for this. This is why y'all might see that I have a double lifetime membership and all kinds of stuff like that, because why not give them some extra money? I'm not in it just to take. I'm going to give back to the company, the ministry that has given me my life back, that has basically told me what I need to do to maintain this for the rest of my life. And I have Shibboleth confidence. I know I'm going to be able to do this for the rest of my life. I'm excited. Okay. So anyway, I said all that to get into the fact that the value that you've paid is amazing, and I want you to take advantage of our support. Okay, so you need to be in the support groups for your level. So if you're in silver level, there's certain groups that you can be in. If you're gold level, you can be at that. If you're Tiger's Eye lifetime member, you can be in that, okay? So those are listed out in my new member fast track group because I've got them linked as groups that you want to be in, okay? You need to familiarize yourself with our awesome website. The way that you do that is you participate in the fast track this week. When you participate in the fast track this week, you're going to watch little videos every single morning. That's of me showing you how to use the website, all right? The website is amazing. There are so many crazy, awesome tools in there that a lot of people don't even get into and dig into just because, one, they might not be that techie or they just don't want to do it. But the reason I do the video is I do the video to help shorten your learning curve, okay? Shorten your learning curve on how to dig into the website. So make sure you watch those every day. They're important. And you know what I find? I find that people watch the 14 little fast track videos, but I find people are shortchanging themselves and not watching the little video of me showing them how to use the website. I can tell that, but I can see my numbers on YouTube, okay? So I can see that, but it's just shortchanging if you don't do it. Do it, all right? Please. And then what I want you to do is I want you to set up your mentor appointment, your getting started mentor appointment or a meal planning appointment, anything. Just set up a mentor appointment, but I want you to do it for next week. Now, when we get off this webinar, I want you to go ahead and schedule it, but I want you to schedule it for next week. The reason I say that is I want you to do fast track this week, focusing in on fast track. Then if you don't have, if you have questions that didn't get answered this week, your mentor can answer them, okay? And your mentor would be Missy, Joni, or Kim. Not me, Kim, a different Kim. Okay, and this is the link right there, but it's also in the group too. So schedule your mentor appointment and then focus in on the fast track this week by participating in the daily posts. What I absolutely would love for you to do, because I keep the new member fast track group cleaned out of all the posts that you don't need as a new member trying to learn this program. Our silver level group is the bomb for support and all kinds of community stuff and the camaraderie, but a lot moves through there every day. And in this new member fast track group, not that much stuff needs to move through there because we're trying to use this for learning purposes. So what I really want you to do is once you get into that group, scroll to the bottom. You can make it to the very first post that was ever made in that group. You can make it there. Work your way back up through every single post and you'll see things that I posted in there that I thought would be beneficial to you. And then each day this week, the post is going to come out. It'll be coming out before 6 a.m. every single morning. That post comes out. That way you early birds can go ahead and do it. But if you can't do it early, just get it in on that day, okay? It's really not that hard. It does not take you more than like 20 minutes to do everything that is suggested in the post. And then to watch all 14 videos, once you've done that, well, it takes less than an hour to watch all 14 of them. And really what that is they are just expounding on today's program overview because you do need to hear it multiple times to get it down, right? Then you can take the test and you'll earn a badge, and your badge will look like this, okay? That's going to be your first Shibboleth badge if you're brand new, okay? If you are not new, you can still earn that badge. And we love badges in Shibboleth. Okay, let's see. We got some comments here in Zoom. Marianne says it's the best program that she's ever done. Yes, it is. It is absolutely amazing. Bo said, okay, gotcha, Bo. Bo rescheduled his mentor appointment, but I'm glad you rescheduled it. That's good. That's good. And then Jenny is asking for the new member fast track group. Yes, let's get there. I will find it. All right, there you go. There's the new member fast track group. If you don't get there before this goes away, you really are just going to look up Shibboleth new member and it will pull it up. but there's the link. Let's see on Facebook. Awesome, awesome. Hey, Nancy. Okay, so let me know if y'all have any questions. Otherwise, we're going to hop off of here. But I want you to join tomorrow night's webinar because doing both the webinars is important. Tomorrow, we're going to talk condiments. Huge. It's very important to talk about condiments, okay, because they can be tricky little calorie suckers. All right, so we have got to talk about those, and I want you to, I just want you to get the full benefit of your whole program. So sign up for tomorrow night's webinar. You can always find webinars in the pink online webinars tab in your account, and I'm also going to post it in here just shortly. You're welcome, Jenny. You're welcome. All right, I'm going to hop off, but y'all reach out to us if you need anything at all. We are here for you. Bo, I am ready for tomorrow. Bo, it looks like I wasn't even challenging last week, doesn't it? I had 3 holidays during my battle buddy, but oh well, that's what happened. But yes, I'm doing, if y'all are not a lifetime member, please join as a lifetime member. It's www.thelifetimemembership.com. And that's just a limited time offer, okay, limited time. But Bo and I are challenging tomorrow, and we're battle buddying tomorrow. I got 5, is it 5 or 6? I got 5 or 6 battle buddies for tomorrow. And I've got the Tiger's Eye Lockdown 3-day challenge. Bo, I have not done a challenge since last summer. So I'm really ready to do the challenge. So I am going to lock it in and rip off the knob, as Travis says. I'm not going to take it easy on you. And one reason I wanted to do this challenge is because I personally need to challenge myself to do walking exercises. And that's part of it. So I needed to do that. But we're going to have fun, y'all. We're going to have lots and lots of fun. And this is a community that you just want to make sure you're always close to. We're going to do this forever together. And we're here for everybody. Awesome. Well, y'all have a blessed evening. And I will, if you have not liked the SHIBBOLETH public page yet, please do that. I go live there Monday through Friday. Every Monday through Friday morning before 8 a.m. with a daily devotion, morning motivation, and accountability live. So y'all join me there in the morning. Good night.